based upon what I'm seeing in her criminal history, it's a lot of thefts. It's a lot of other cases. And there are some drug issues.
I realize I made some bad choices and stuff like that. I just have a little bit of alcohol problem, but that's it.
CR 013374, State versus Adalia Sobbs. Can I have parties announce?
I think I went to the state.
David Rodriguez for the defendant.
And are you Ms. Sobbs?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered into a plea bargain agreement of no contest. Was your plea on December 18th? Court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court found you guilty. And a PSI and TAP evaluation was ordered. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 12 months in the state jail facility, and there's a $1,500 fine. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI and TAP evaluation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI or TAP evaluation, State?
Objection.
No objection.
Defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, State, you are opposed to the application. Any witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge.
Any witnesses?
Just my client.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you'll lower your hand and state your name for the record.
Adalia Sobbs.
All right, you may proceed, defense.
Ms. Hobbs, can you just tell the judge why we're applying for probation today?
I realize I made some bad choices and stuff like that. Because my last son is graduating this year and he's going to the Marines.
I'm sorry, it's
He's
going
going to
through
the Marines.
Okay,
And I haven't been there for my kids, but I was there, recently, lately and stuff. And I've been working very hard. I don't do drugs anymore. I don't do none of that stuff. I just have a little bit of alcohol problem, and that's it. But other than that, I really want to see my son leave.
And Ms. Hobbs, do you understand that you have an issue with alcohol?
Yes, I do.
And do you also have some mental health issues?
Yes, I do. I'm bipolar and PTSD.
And are you asking the judge to give you some help today to get some treatment for the alcohol issues and your mental health issues?
Yes, I do. Yes, I will. Yes, I am.
And if the judge grants you this probation or deferred adjudication, are you going to be able to successfully complete that probation?
100%. My baby's, yes, 100%.
Ms. Hobbs, tell me a little bit about your living situation. Where are you living right now?
I live with my mother-in-law's house, and she left it to my sister-in-law now. They've been there for over 50 years. I lived right with my husband before he passed away 7 years ago, right behind the street next to, behind K Street and stuff where my mother-in-law lives for 15 years. And then after he passed away, I went to my mother-in-law's.
And so how long have you been living in that house?
I lived there for at least 8 years now since my husband passed.
And who else is in the house with you?
My sister-in-law, my 3 boys.
And how old are your boys?
My boys, my oldest one is 20, and my second to the oldest one is 18, and this one is 17. My youngest is 17.
And before you were arrested for this offense, had you been working?
Yes, down the street where it is all older people and stuff, and I clean their houses for them and stuff like that. I've been there for 5 years, cleaning the same houses. Up and down the street, I got 6 on my street, and on the street after that, I have 2 more houses over there.
And Ms. Hobbs, is that the kind of job that you would be able to pick back up when you're released?
Yes, ma'am. I know a lot of people for forever. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Up to this point, the defense has presented a picture of someone asking for one more chance, someone who says she has changed, wants treatment, and wants to be there for her children. But now the focus shifts completely. The prosecutor is about to walk the court through a criminal history stretching back decades, and that history could determine whether the judge sees this as a fresh start or another failed opportunity.
Judge, I think that's all I've got for right now.
all right. Any questions?
Ms. Sautis, so you would agree with me that you have a criminal record that dates back to the year 1997, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been placed on probation multiple times in misdemeanor and felony cases, is that correct?
3 times, and then there's supposed to be 3 times. I passed 1.
Okay. Well, okay, let's talk about that a little. So in 1997, you were placed on misdemeanor probation for theft. And originally you were given 1 year deferred adjudication. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Okay. And so then on that one, you had multiple motions to find you guilty, and then you were found guilty, and then a motion to revoke your probation and send you to the Bexar County Jail was filed. Do you recall that?
And we covered that, it's been so long. I'm 50 years old now, so.
I understand. And so then on that probation, you ultimately got sentenced to 6 months Bexar County Jail. Does that sound about right?
Okay.
Okay. And then again in 2008, you are placed on deferred adjudication, and multiple motions to revoke are filed, and then ultimately you're sentenced to 11 months in Bexar County Jail. Does that sound about right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then in 2015, you were placed on felony probation, and then had about 3 motions to revoke your probation, and then ultimately sentenced to 9 months in state jail. Does that sound about right?
Okay.
And then as recently as 2023, you were found guilty of the felony offense of theft of property of sentenced to 6 months in state jail. Does that sound about right? Okay. And so what is different now than all the other times that you were on probation and unable to successfully?
Back then, I was running wild and stuff like that. I grew up a lot. I'm 50 years old, my kids, now that they're older and stuff, I see a lot that I've done that I haven't done with them, that they're grown up already, and I regret a lot of things that I've done. But, I was taking me a lot of things that away from me and stuff, and I just, like I said, my son is finna go to the Marines, and I'm so proud of him. I just want to be there.
And I understand
I can do
that.
this.
And so I know you've acknowledged that you have an issue with alcohol, but when the top evaluator asked you if you had any issues with any like drugs or illegal substances, you said no, right?
No, I told her I had weed. I had some weed,
Okay, so that's kind of what I want to
medicating.
that's what I want to talk to you about, because you told her that you don't have an issue with marijuana, but on the date that you were arrested, you were in possession.
I told her I was self-medicating with my weed.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
Okay. So I guess you're telling the court that at this time you have an issue with marijuana and alcohol.
Yes, ma'am.
This is where the request for probation becomes much more complicated. The issue is no longer just whether she admits having an alcohol problem. The court is now looking at a much broader pattern involving prior probation failures, substance use, and repeated offenses. And with that history in front of her, the judge has to decide whether punishment alone will solve the problem or whether treatment has a better chance.
Okay, great. Thank you. No further questions.
All right. Of course, I'm never aware of anyone's criminal history at the time I take a plea. I become aware of it after the plea. Based upon what I'm seeing in her criminal history, it's a lot of thefts. It's a lot of other cases. And there are some drug issues. And it seems that that's the cause of the cases that she was placed on probation for and that were revoked. So there are other things that are going on. So, does anyone think it's appropriate to do a referral to Esperanza Court?
I have a question.
All right. So if you all will just have a seat, any objections to me emailing the judge who is over Esperanza Court to see how long it would take to do an evaluation?
Not at all.
All right. And if you want to talk to your client about the Esperanza Court, you're looking at an 18 months program. And what I can tell you, if I grant your application and you're with Esperanza Court will make the decision over whether or not you should be in inpatient treatment or outpatient treatment. It's an intensive program. All of the specialty courts are intensive programs, and they are able to supervise you at a higher level than I can on this caseload. All right.
Yes.
I believe Meredith Chacon is a part of Esperanza Court, so you may want to call her as well. And I think also, I know for sure Meredith Chacon. I can't think of the other attorneys who are part of that. So you may want to call her and see if she can come over, because she'll be able to look at it and tell us if she has a good chance of being accepted or not.
Do you know which court the Esperanza Court's out of?
It is Judge Catherine Torres Stahl. Is that the 144th?
Yeah, 170.
175th. So if you'll go to the 175th, and maybe they'll be able to do that quickly and we can take this up.
Yeah, I'll go there now.
All right, thank you. If you come up, because this is about you. Coming over so quickly. But once I saw her criminal history, I was thinking, this would be a good program for her. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grant her application, but I'm going to have her remain in custody until a transfer or an evaluation is completed with Esperanza Court.
Yes.
And then if for some reason you all don't accept her, I'll figure out another placement. Okay?
I think it'll.
What happens next is not a simple sentence. The judge is giving her a choice between going directly to state jail or entering an intensive treatment program designed to address the problems behind her repeated offenses. But this opportunity comes with serious conditions, and there is no guarantee she will be accepted. For the defendant, this may be the narrowest path between another jail sentence and a genuine chance to change.
Oh, thank you. I'm holding you to that. Thank you so much for coming over so quickly. I really appreciate that. All right, thank you. All right, so you have options, right? And I want you to discuss it with your attorney before we go on the record. I'll grant your application, but you're going to be referred to Esperanza Court. If Esperanza Court doesn't accept you, then I'm going to have you remain in custody for felony drug court. And I know they have a dual diagnosis program there as well. Or if you want, I can find you guilty and I'll sentence you to do your time at the state jail facility. And according to your plea bargain agreement, they're asking for a cap of 12 months. I'll give her 10 months at the state jail facility. So if y'all discuss and let me know. All right, Ms. Sobbs, you had a chance to confer with Esperanza Court. My understanding, Defense Esperanza Court was able to interview her and they think that she will be eligible for the program?
Correct, Judge.
All right. And Ms. Sobbs, you want to be considered for the Esperanza Court?
Yes, sir.
All right, probation. This is what the court will order. As previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 12 months in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 45 days of release, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. The defendant is to remain in custody until transfer to Esperanza Court. And there's to be a referral to Esperanza Court. If not accepted into Esperanza Court, then there will be a referral to felony drug court. There's to be field visits 1 time per month until further notice. There's a $1,500 fine. Time and money will run concurrently. Probation, is there anything else?
Meaning that's probated, right?
I'm sorry?
meaning that 1,500 by is
I'm sorry, you're so right. Thank you. Yes, that will be probated.
nothing else. Judge.
And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. That may change once you've been in the program for a while. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record.